Hey there, welcome to day 2 of our once a year 3-day workshop. This is the AI Ascension Workshop. Yesterday was action packed. We covered a lot from diving into the opportunity at your fingertips, how you can build passive recurring income with this simple system, as well as have high ticket cash injections, and also pack your calendar with leads. If you have a service that you want to generate leads for, this will have leads coming in automatically. This will allow you to access paid advertising systems without having to actually worry about ad spend. This is a revolutionary side of AI, and we've been working on it, working very hard to develop this, and it unlocks so many doors for you. If you're looking for that simple, in demand system to run and to make money from it, of course, and to do it in quite a dramatic fashion, this is your answer. Now, remember, if you've been trying for a while to bring clients in, or maybe you've been trying to find the right fit for you, that actually has demand, the problem is in the offer. When it feels like you're pushing water uphill and everyone else around you seems to have an easier time bringing in clients, it doesn't have to be that difficult. Honestly, it really doesn't have to be that hard. You just have to get yourself in the right boat, in the right river, making sure you're in a booming market with an offer that's in demand. When you do have an offer that's in demand that solves a big problem, the money starts to flow to you. It feels like everywhere you turn, another deal lands on your lap. It's magnetic. It's just so powerful. It's abundance. But when you have that type of offer, you know you have it. That type of offer is the exact structure that we're covering in this workshop. You don't have to struggle to bring clients in anymore. You don't have to struggle to get people to pay you well for your time or your services. You will know exactly what a power offer looks like and how you can run it, having that momentum flowing to you. Now, today we're going to dive into two extremely important topics. The first is the mindset that you need to have and to develop to magnetically attract money with a system like this. The second topic we're diving into is niche selection and how to find a niche that will work from day one. Let's dive into the all-important mindset. This is the fluffy stuff, we all know it, but it's absolutely vital and it's a key component to your success. If you get this wrong, you're not going to reach your potential. The most important mindset trait is understanding that you're solving a problem. This isn't about picking a random service and then trying to sell it to other businesses. There's so much of that out there, right? It's not about that. That's most of the services that you see out there. The reason we have success so consistently is because of how we operate. We always work backwards. We identify a problem in a business where if that problem was solved, it would make the business owner a lot of money. This means that the outcome of investing with you is quite significant and is very, very valuable. And people are then going to pay handsomely to have these problems solved. This protects you. It protects you quite significantly at any time of economic volatility because it's no longer a nice to have service. It's a must have. It's a must problem to solve. They always need this problem solved. When the purse strings tighten, when things become more expensive, when the rent goes up, when their cost of goods sold goes up, when their staffing costs goes up, they can only reduce their expenses by so much, right? There's a floor, there's a bottom floor. The only option for them is to make more money because the alternative is to stop operating and shut down because they can't afford it, right? They just can't afford it. They can't reduce their expenses anymore. Therefore, if they don't make more money, there's only one way they're going. So even when times are tight, even when things are difficult, you are in demand. This is like insurance for you, right? Now, in the markets that we target, it's booming, absolutely booming. But I like to build services that pass the stress test, that allow us to continue to grow and to succeed even when the economy shifts. Because you and I, we can't control the economy. I wish I could, but I can't. We need to protect ourselves against what we know will happen. It's inevitable. The economy always shifts. It works in cycles. So it's inevitable there are going to be these shifts. Well, if we know that's going to be the case, if we know that's going to happen, why wouldn't we protect ourselves? from it. Now, this builds protection for you. It gives you that comfort. It gives you that peace of mind. Imagine being in a scenario where the economy does shift and things become tighter. And even like right now, you see it on the news. Interest rates are skyrocketing. The cost of mortgages and rents, it's all skyrocketing. The cost of groceries is skyrocketing as well. But you could be okay. Probably wouldn't matter to you if you had this. So yes, we want fast, simple systems that work. This is the priority. However, I want you to build your business on a solid foundation, and I'm going to make sure of it. It must be a solid foundation that stands the test of time. That is so important. There's so many people that are fly by the night in this industry. They're here 1 minute, gone the next. They've got the latest and greatest offer. If you look back at what we've been doing, we've been running this structure for the last half a decade, right? We've been doing the same thing, tweaking it, improving it, updating with AI, making it better and better and better. Yet some people are here for 3 months with a great offer, then they disappear. This is the key. This is the key to longevity. This is the key to continuing on and building from that strong, solid foundation. And that's why it's so important, because it will build your life. Now, the second element here is focusing on building a business that gives you that strong foundation, which then leads to freedom. You don't want to be stuck behind a desk all the time. You need that freedom. That's life. That's why we do this, right? We want that freedom. You need elements of passive income built into your business, and it needs to be a priority. Yes, you can access the high ticket cash injections. They're great. There's dopamine there. You feel great when you close a deal and that payment comes in. But then the dip happens. When things get a little tougher, it dries up a little bit, right? That doesn't feel good. That feels quite concerning, because your bills don't dry up. Wish they would, but they don't. So your bills are stacking up and you need that sale, and it stacks the pressure more and more and more. And we all know when we are under that tremendous pressure, sometimes, yes, we'll perform, but really it puts us under stress and duress. And we're in fight or flight mode. We make decisions that solve the short-term problem, but never the long-term. And it just repeats the cycle over and over and over again. So we want passive income elements built in. You've got to have a system that feeds your bank account every single day, completely passively. You don't need to chill on a beach every day, right? But it's nice to have the option if you wanted to, right? Maybe you want to spend time with your family. It's not just about having that time, and this is important. And I want you to sit for a moment and think about this. And we've all probably been there. We're all in this space, we're all in the entrepreneurial space with lots of things flying around, but I want you to take a moment to think about this. It's not just about having that time with family. It's actually about having the ability to have that time, but be present as well. Not with your mind racing or glued to your phone, dealing with clients nonstop, or checking your messages, or feeling anxious because you've got so much to do, or worrying about the paycheck or the bills stacking up in the back of your mind when you're trying to be with family, or having, let's say, Christmas dinner or something, and you're just worried, you're stressed in your mind, or Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it might be. You're stressed though, you're not present. You know that yourself. You're trying to be present, but it's hard, right? You just can't do it. That's freedom. Having the ability to not feel that same pressure. Having the ability to have the time, but also be present during the time. I always remember my father was an entrepreneur, and he was a lawyer, but he owned his own firm. And I remember we used to go on a vacation, and in that vacation, he did have a few members of staff, but they could never really do what he had to be doing. And I remember all the time he used to go, and it was back in the days of internet cafes and such. He used to have to go to the internet cafe basically every single day, Monday to Friday, and organize stuff for about 3 or 4 hours. And sometimes I would go with him, but he was on the phone, he was doing things that wasn't really being there. And I remember him always being stressed and always there and on the phone all the time and dealing with problems, and it just was this cycle. And he wasn't free. He had the time freedom. Yes, he could be on vacation, but he was never actually there. He was never present with it, right? And that's the difference. That's not true freedom. What's true freedom is having that passive income that you don't have to worry about. You want to spend your mornings how you want to spend them. You want to go on vacation when you want to go on vacation without having to worry about your income. This is stability and this is choice. For me, it's being able to start my days with hiking with my dogs and such, or playing golf in the morning or stuff. But that's freedom to me. I love doing that. That's my favorite thing to do. But that's the freedom. It's being able to do that when I choose. Building a passive source and foundation of cash flow that comes in daily on autopilot without you having to do anything, that's going to set you free. Then when you want a high ticket cash injection, when you want to go on a vacation or whenever you want to do something or experience that little bit of dopamine, you can choose to have one. You don't need it. You don't rely on it. It becomes a choice. You control your time. This is what we're striving for. This is a lifestyle business where you have control. You're not tied down. You can pull the cash injection lever whenever you want to. And know that your general life expenses are covered on autopilot. You don't even have to think about it. This is the power and the capability behind what I'm giving you in this workshop. You'll have the capability to create your own recurring, sticky, passive income, as well as having the power to pull the high ticket cash injection lever whenever you want to. It's all about building a skill set that unlocks everything. You learn this one skill set, you instantly set yourself apart. Yet, with the AI mechanisms, it becomes so simple, so straightforward. It's not difficult anymore. It becomes so much easier to implement. Previously, it was challenging, absolutely. But as we all know, at the other side of challenging, of the work we avoid, the work we don't want to do, is the reward we're looking for, right? So we're looking for things with a challenge. We just want AI to make that easier. Now, nobody else has this process because we've put a lot of our own blood, sweat, and tears into creating this to the level that we want. So this is your unique advantage. You want a simple service that follows the same process every single time, but solving a problem that nobody else can solve simply because of the AI systems you can have access to. We often talk about building the moat around ourselves. In order for someone else to do this, they have to cross the giant moat that we've created through blood, sweat, and tears. Yet, you can just leverage the moat yourself. The moat, if you're not familiar with what that is, if you imagine your own castle and the castle is your business and they've got competitors who are essentially, for lack of a better term, attacking your castle, right? But they can copy your offer. They can do different things. They can do the same thing as you and they can just come into the castle and take it. The moat around yourself is the years of experience and expertise that it takes, the work essentially that they have to do in order to get to your level. Now, previously that came from, like I said, decades of experience. But because of AI, you can build this moat around yourself tomorrow based on what you can have access to. This moat protects you. This moat means anyone who wants to compete with you has to build the same level of expertise, and they can't because they don't have access to this. Now that we know how to think about this process and the purpose behind it, let's look at the biggest opportunities in the market right now to implement this in more detail. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, the lowest hanging fruit is going to be school community owners. This shouldn't be your only focus, but it's a platform packed with people who have this exact same problem time and time again that you can solve. It is very, very low hanging fruit. And I'm going to dive into this a little bit more than I did yesterday now. I'll give you some secret psychology insights into the school situation that not many people will tell you, or they won't know this either. This gives you the information that you need to go out and acquire these community owners as clients, high-paying clients as well. Now, they create these communities based on the hype of school itself. Very, very good marketing. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, if you have a look at the school games leaderboards for monthly recurring revenue, is mainly full of people who had an existing audience and community that they sold to. Or I also know that many of them simply transferred their members from other platforms. So they already had this built from their years or whatever, built on other platforms, and they offered bonuses, incentives, discounts to switch over to school, which then boosted their numbers. So they basically just transferred their business from one area to the next and then appeared on these leaderboards. It's not all as it may seem here, right? Most community owners on the platform have a very, very slow growth. And yesterday, I gave you an example of a community owner, or I can give you one in addition, who's very well known. And they actually lost well over a half, around about 60% of it, of their community members to churn in a matter of months. So they've put all the effort into growing the community because they don't know how to do it, which takes a lot of effort, and then they're losing them within months. And this creates a fundamental flaw where they have the hype and the momentum and then it disappears. Now I'm going to explain why this is a big deal, and I'm going to show you why this is something we can basically infiltrate. Now, this is all caused because they don't actually know how to acquire clients on the platform, and I'll tell you exactly why. They view the school community as a means to an end, to ascend people into their high ticket offerings. So they bring people into a community the hard way, then aggressively target them with an appointment setter to ascend into high ticket sales. So it's just basically a community where they can have an appointment setter go in and try and get people on booked calls, right? How many times have we all been in a school group or something like that where someone's contacting you about it? It happens all the time. It's not the way to do this, but they have to. They have to do it this way. School has limitations on the sales process where they can only sell the product directly. At best, they can use a free trial, which is a very difficult and a very costly way to do this. The churn rate on a free trial is huge, it's massive. And it's often because banks and such don't like a free trial. Because there's no transaction as such, because there's no money exchanged on that first transaction, it's free. And then there's a subscription setup where it bills automatically 14 days later. They don't like that at all. So it causes a lot of issues, not just from cancellations, but declines as well. So even this is not the way for them to go. That's why the churn rate is so big. Now, in order to run paid ads consistently and bringing in new members steadily, they need to run at a heavy loss. They spend a fortune doing it. It can take them 4 months just to recoup their investment. And this is because they have to sell it direct. They have to sell the subscription instead of using an intro product or breaking even the ad spend. They have to sell it directly for $47, $97, $197, and they try and sell it through paid ads. And let's say they were to run a $97 per month community, the acquisition cost is probably going to be $200, $230 plus dollars, maybe even $300, $400. As the low hanging fruits on Facebook ads disappears, it can get up to that level. This means it can take them 4 months. Think about it. If they acquire someone for $300-$400 and they're only getting paid $97, it's going to take them 4 months just to break even, right? Just to break even. But yet, their members are all canceling. They can't retain them. They can't really use order bumps or upsells on school, which means their funnel can't pay them back instantly like a ladder funnel would. It doesn't have the capability to do so. So they have to spend a fortune, an absolute fortune, and hope a member stays for at least 4 months to only then start making money, or they struggle. And with higher churn rates due to a lack of community engagement, they need to constantly replenish new members, but they can't because they need to sell subscriptions directly and they don't have upsells to break their ad spend even instantly. So they've got to be very careful with it. It's this cycle where they just can't win. But this is where your opportunity arises, directly with this painful problem. You can go to these community owners and leverage the AI system, within these workshops to build a ladder funnel into their business. This funnel works perfectly to instantly return their ad spend as well as build the monthly recurring revenue in autopilot. And it sources a cold audience, it nurtures them, and then it ascends them naturally into a high ticket offering. It has everything that they ever wanted. You can provide that leveraging the simple AI system that we've created. Now, this is an extensively proven system that I use every single day. You can go to these community owners with a system that automatically brings customers in daily without organic marketing or appointment setters or anything of that sort at an instant break even. This means that any recurring customers, the community with a recurring revenue, it's profitable month 2, not month 4, but month 2. A huge improvement in the return on investment because a lot of people won't get to month 4 for them. So not only are they having to, if you think about it, if their average customer costs $400 to acquire and it takes them 4 months for them to break even, there's also going to be those customers who are below average where they're making a big loss on it, which means they're going to have some customers above average. So really, the reality is, even with the good customers that stay for quite some time, they could still be just breaking even and making nothing from it. Nothing. Yet you can fix this problem. You can go in there with such a painful problem that they have, and you can fix that problem that quickly. And that's the beauty of the system. You can have them printing profit with their monthly recurring revenue from month 2 onwards. From the second that first month passes, done. It's profitable. This skyrockets their profit margins. A huge improvement. A huge improvement. This is such low-hanging fruit. Yet you'll have the tools and the AI systems to attack these and find your first 4 community owners, build this system and make $20,000 quickly. Imagine that. 4 community owners. I've told you the problems they have. I've told you exactly the situation they're in, from acquiring customers to bleeding from a profit sense to not even making profit for months and months and months, and the fabrication of the school games leaderboard that gives them all hope but really just lets them down. Yeah, you can go in there, offer them a solution to the service, and that unlocks the door to $20,000 for you, simply because you know what to do. Now, the second huge opportunity I would focus on is in the coaching and info product space. I gleaned on this yesterday, but I'm going to dive into it a bit more. Now, these business owners need to sell their products, but they always do it in the hardest way they possibly could. So many of them struggle to make sales and they're terrified of paid ads. They're terrified, and rightly so. I can see why, the way they've been taught to do this. They have to spend a fortune in order to make their money back, right? And it's a big risk for them. And they're worried they're not going to have the sales mechanism, the sales capabilities to do this. So I completely understand the hesitation behind it. But again, we can take that away, right? Not only that, they spend hour after hour after hour posting content, trying to cold DM people, use appointment setters, or they try and spam Facebook groups and try and get clients from there. And we've all seen that before. Maybe we've all done it before as well. Maybe you've probably seen that yourself. Maybe you've even done that yourself. But you know it's not the way to do it, right? Maybe it works once or twice, but that's it. It's not sustainable. They spin in circles, and they need to make sales every single month as they start from scratch because they only focus on the high ticket sale. So every month they start from zero. Every month that appointment setter or the post on the Facebook, if they have to make that again, or they have to post their content daily, and it repeats over and over and over again, and it becomes so exhausting for them. It is exhausting doing that, and it's tiring. Yet they have to do it because they're running on this hamster wheel. Then maybe they try to hire a sales rep and a closer, but most of the time it flops simply because they have the wrong expectations with a cold audience. You see, the reality is when a closer comes in, unless you have what you would call a unicorn, closer, a unicorn sales rep that can masterfully take a lead from ice cold, take them through the trust process on one single call, and then close them, you're not going to have that one call close happening. Yet these are the leads they're feeding their closers. So the closers, most of which are not unicorns because they're rare, most of which can't close the sales. So then the business owner blames the closer and they try and hire another closer. But this is the cycle repeats itself. Never ever works. So they just don't know how to move forwards with their business. But what they never look at, what they don't realize, is the answers in the lead generation process. If they're trying to just ram people onto sales calls all day long, the prospects are going to be ice cold and so much harder to close. But yet, you have the solution to this problem. This system unlocks this door for them. You can help them sell their products on autopilot. You can help them forget appointment setters, cold direct messages, posting hours of content, and then build a system that consistently brings in qualified buyers. You can unlock the world of paid ads, basically, the whole world, which automatically brings in qualified buyers every single day. You can help them build up sticky, monthly, recurring revenue, which means they don't start from scratch every single month. And as you do that, as you help them, you build up your own sticky, monthly, recurring revenue. It becomes passive, and you can achieve that freedom lifestyle, that ability to do what you want when you want. You can create a warm audience internally for them and for yourself, which gives them access to the best clients, the tier one cream of the crop, without having to rely on cold leads, allowing them to, if they want to then bring in a sales rep, they can do that. Why? Because it will work so much better because the leads are warm. You see how all these problems that they have, from appointment setters not having enough data, or appointment setters who can't book sales calls because they're forcing leads, to closers who can't close sales calls because the leads aren't qualified or good enough, or they're not high volume enough, or they haven't crossed the trust barrier, or whatever it may be. All these problems that go back to the business owner, all of the problems they get stressed about and they try and fix and they waste their time trying to fix, you can take the problem away from them. And remember what I said. I told you, when you can create the solution to a problem, or you have the solution to a problem that is very painful and is in demand to fix, then you're going to make a lot of money, right? Think about how many appointment setter agencies are out there, and closer agencies or sales agencies. There's so many of them because there's so much demand for them, yet this problem exists and it's a cycle. Well, that huge demand as well, you can leverage it. You can take advantage of it because you have the solution to all of their problems. You can fix it all. And yet you can do this with AI because we made it so much easier and so much simpler for you. Now, the final market I would look at personally is the software industry. And this industry is primed for this offer. Now, just take a look at how ClickFunnels sold their software, right? There are secrets held within this. And what they did was they ran the One Funnel Away challenge. And they sold this, I think it may have been $97 in the front end. It probably varied in price throughout the years, but they ran the One Funnel Away challenge and they sold the challenge, I think, for $97. And then they had an order bump in there. And then they offered a 30-day free trial of ClickFunnels to get the user on board to help them build the funnel that is taught within One Funnel Away. Now, the whole reason this worked is because you created the use case. With the One Funnel Away challenge, you gave them the strategy for generating leads, which is a problem the buyer has. They want to generate leads. That's what they want. Everybody wants that. So they can market, you want to generate leads, we can help you solve that problem. The solution to this problem, they're then going after instead of going after the solution aware market, which would be the solution aware market would be, I know I need a sales funnel. I've got to find a sales funnel software. It's a much, much smaller market, right? But when they go one step backwards and they say, okay, well, we can help you get leads for your clients. They go into the problem aware market, which is I know I need leads and I don't know how to get them. So the problem aware state. And then they provide the solution of, okay, you want leads. The solution for you to get leads and achieve your goal is to build a sales funnel. And you're only one funnel away from success. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Now, in order to actually implement this, you're going to need a funnel building software. Do you have one of them? Probably not. Here's one for 30 days free. And then what happened within the program is you would take steps to build that sales funnel on the platform, right? So you're building the funnel, you're spending time on the platform, you're clicking around with an objective, not just browsing or having a look around. You've got an objective, you've got a step-by-step process of do this, do that. You've got an objective you're trying to achieve that really is your true goal of generating leads. So now they've got the person from the problem-aware state into the solution-aware state, which is I can need a sales funnel, and actually created their own market, their own demand for their software, because it's a secondary problem of, well, now that I know I need a sales funnel, I need a sales funnel software. Oh, look, here's one. And I've now got training on how to do it as well, which means all the competitors I'd have to figure out how to use, I'm not going to use them because I've got it right there in front of me. This allowed them to target the mass market instead of a tiny portion who knew they needed a sales funnel software. That's how ClickFunnels sold ClickFunnels, right? And that's the secret. They also liquidated their ad spend. They broke even, or obviously I don't know the exact numbers between their ad accounts or within their ad accounts, but the concept was to liquidate their ad spend to essentially break even or profit on the ad spend and have those recurring sales build up. And then, of course, he had his masterminds on the back end, the high ticket offers, which he ascended people through to, I think, about $12,000, which he ascended people through to internally. So he had the whole pathway right now in front of him. And that's exactly how they built ClickFunnels and how they acquired customers, marketed so aggressively, because everywhere you looked, they were marketing. How did they afford to do that? Because they used a funnel like this. They liquidated their spend. They filled up their high ticket programs because they also, their high ticket offerings on the back end with warm customers, and then the recurring built up as well. It's the beauty of it. It's the beauty of how they did this. And that's exactly what you can do. Now, the biggest issue in the software industry is developers are product specialists. They don't know how to sell. This means that they build the software, taking years to do it, putting in a lot of sweat equity, and then hardly making any sales. So they launch it to nobody. Spent years and years and years and probably a lot of money doing it as well. And they launch it and it's crickets. Nobody buys it. Maybe they then list on AppSumo, right? Trying to make early sales get early users, early adopters with lifetime deals, which honestly, it doesn't do much for them. They're offering crazy discounts on lifetime deals, but they want to get sales one way or another. And that's usually the only way they know how. But again, you've got the solution for their problem. You can create a system where the software is used with an in-demand concept, just like ClickFunnels, just like an in-demand concept like lead generation. Then sell those products on the front end with the ladder funnel. So that's what you want to do. You want to deploy the ladder funnel into their business. This then creates the need for the software. They no longer have to find users that already need it. Think about, go high level, right? They never marketed to those who need CRM systems. No, they marketed, and they still do to this day, for agencies that want to make money. Why? Because it's their biggest problem. It's what they want. They want to make money. So what they do is they position all the tools, the bells, the whistles on that software to help an agency owner make money. It goes towards the low-hanging fruits. And they can create their own demand by doing this. They create their own use case, because that's the biggest problem. All these software owners, they think, well, I've got to go out there and I've got to find people that need my software. It's the wrong way to do it. You've got to go and create products that the market already needs, which then you use your software in that use case. So if it was building sales funnels, if it was using database reactivation, or if you sell the concept of database reactivation and then you transition it to, look, you can use Go High Level to reactivate your database. You don't have to get additional softwares, and I can import the sequences into your account tomorrow and manage them for you. You've created your own demand. Previously, they didn't know they needed the software. They had no idea. They didn't even know to look for it, so they would never have clicked on any ads. But when you give them that use case, you give them that need, you take them from the problem aware state to solution aware, and that allows you to close them. That allows you to build up those sales automatically. So imagine how powerful this is when you present it to a software owner, right? That's the beauty of how this works. This becomes so powerful, and you can break their ad spend even daily. And they're all scared of spending money. So imagine approaching them saying you can break their ad spend even every day as the recurring subscription base builds up. This is a beautiful scenario, and it's absolutely perfect for them. You can also sell recurring plans as well, annual recurring plans rather, to boost their cash flow even further. So you can have both, right? And I usually find about 1 to 2% by the annual plan when you run paid ads. So there's additional cash boost all the time. It's beautiful. So this market is primed. They're literally primed for the ladder funnel. It's lucrative, and you can get a piece of that sticky software monthly recurring revenue. It's the best of the kind, and you can get a piece of that. These markets are my favorite markets to target. That would be the most lucrative. Now, the final opportunity for you here is by leveraging your own SaaS local agency in any industry with any additional marketing service that you like, from SEO to PPC, database reactivation, review management, Facebook ads, web design, anything that you want, anything your heart desires, you can do that. So you can use this system to rapidly create multiple niche specific intro products. You can run your own ads, breaking even daily, to bring in your customer base, to build it up, those warm customers at no cost. These customers then ascend immediately into your Go High Level SaaS recurring offer. So you would license Go High Level as your recurring offer, which then stacks your sticky monthly recurring revenue. This is how you bring customers in for the SaaS structures, and this is how you get your own clients for local agency services. All those times you might have wondered, how do I get clients for my Facebook ad service, or my database reactivation, or my review mat, or even web design? You might have wondered, how do I get clients for this? This is how. This is how you do it. You do it automatically. You do it without thinking about it. They come in and they're magnetically attracted to you. And then you also build up your recurring in the middle. Because why not, right? You want that passive lifestyle. You want that passive freedom, the ability to control your time and be present. And maybe you want to travel the world, or maybe you just want to chill out. Whatever it might be, the key is having control over your time. And this gives you control. This is the answer to everything. This is the answer to getting clients. It's the answer to getting clients for whatever service you want. It's the answer to having offers that actually convert and becoming in demand. It's the answer to learning how to market yourself without having to worry about ad spend. It's beautiful. You can build up your own warm internal audience who are paying you monthly and ascending those clients into done-for-you services quickly with strong retention rates. That's the key. So many agencies struggle with 30 to 50% churn rates month on month. Like, it's a big, big problem, right? They lose clients and they're always worried about losing clients. But when you bring them in this way, when you bring them in and you ascend them through the processes, the trust is already built in. The retention is much stronger because they know, like, and trust you. So even when it comes to keeping your clients, it works better that way as well. This model will transform absolutely everything that you do. You don't need to struggle for clients anymore. This will change everything. You can access an abundance of clients, which is a sentence most people can't even imagine, but now you can. and you know how to do it. You need to be using a system like this. The problem has always been, okay, I want to run a system like this. I really want to do it. I can see that I want to break my ad spend even. I can see that I want warm clients. I want warm audiences ascending because I want the best customers that stick around. I can see how it would give me an abundant amount of customers and clients. I can see how I can run ads all day long and I don't have to send DMs or produce content or do any of that stuff. I want to do this. But how do I create the products? What do I make them about? It takes too long. What do I have to do here? Not anymore. We use AI to streamline this process significantly. This means that you can build up monthly recurring revenue and then provide a done-for-you service at $7,500 to $10,000. This keeps it simple, all without having to figure out how to create products yourself because we can have AI actually do it for us. Imagine a scenario where 3 months from now you're recurring up to $7,000 a month, right? And then you're closing 3 new deals per month. You're almost hitting $30,000 and you only have to close 3 clients a month. That's crazy, right? That's crazy because you've also, and as you do that, as you bring those clients in, your monthly recurring continues to build and build and build. And then you get it to 10,000 a month. Then you get it to 15,000. And all of a sudden you think, well, I've got 15,000 a month coming in. I don't really have to worry about it. If I want to do less work this month, I can because I don't have to close any new high ticket clients. And you just keep building and building and building and building this tower, this infrastructure that's powerful and the foundation that gives you that freedom. This makes everything so much easier and straightforward to build and launch. And AI allows you to run this powerful system without having to rewind 5 years and become an expert at every single element. You can simply leverage AI and a specific process to bring it all to life. And as a little hint, one of the key mechanisms we can use is we can actually learn from hundreds of hours of content online completely automatically to build masterful, complete masterpieces of products simply because we can leverage the experience of creators globally and actually create the best product you have ever seen, all using AI. And you can do that too. Imagine the power. Tomorrow, I'm going to dive into how we achieve this, how you generate your own leads for this extremely quickly, and showing you how you can run the system yourself rapidly. If you have any questions, just let us know. You can send us an email or you can post in the group. You can comment below this video. Whatever you need, just let us know. We're happy to answer and we'll be on hand to answer. This video will be up for about 24 hours and then we'll be moving on to day 3 of this workshop, the final day of this workshop. Make sure you do not miss it.